Okay, so now let's talk about my birthday. Keeping in mind that I'm not the biggest fan of like a huge birthday celebration, I like to really do my own thing. And I don't really like to tell anybody day of. I really like to treat it as a day like any other. I'm not going to expand further on that. The way I see it, it's your birthday, it's your day. That's the one day you get to do whatever you want to do. I also know that there's people who say, "Oh, I don't like to do," and they say that to kind of get attention or to like, no, I don't tell people. So I'm not just saying that to get attention. So even more than I cared to explain. With that being said, I was saving my excitement for Vegas with Mariah in July, which at the time I thought was going to be a vacation with my boyfriend, his first time, my first time in Chicago, right? And we also had the deal where I had already gotten the nice hotel. I mean, I don't know, nothing in Vegas is cheap, but like, you've got to get the hotel on the strip. And this was honestly my first time where I could do exactly what I wanted to do. Okay. So where the venue where the concert was is exactly where I stayed, but I'm getting ahead of myself. And my previous trips to Vegas have just not been as I was not able to afford and do the things that I did on this most recent trip. Like I said, I'm getting ahead of myself, but let's go to my birthday dinner. So the only thing I wanted to do for my birthday was just to go out literally to Benihana's in Burlingame. And if you're from the Bay Area, then you know that the peninsula, which is not the Bay Area, and there won't be any questions. I will not be accepting any questions about that. San Jose, not the Bay Area either. Go on and get all upset. But so you go to the peninsula, which like I already said is not in the Bay Area. They have the nicest Benihana. So that's what I wanted to do for my birthday. And as you know with Benihana, you get stuck at the communal table. That can go really well, or it can go really wrong. So we get to the table. I'm not even going to get into getting to the restaurant, which actually wasn't that bad. Like, we Ubered over, wasn't a big deal. I forgot the coupon, so we had to run to a FedEx Express to print it out, but it's fine because if it's your birthday, you get $30 off, which is a drop in the bucket at Benihana. But hey, again, if you've been to Benihana in Burlingame, you know that that's the only one that matters. So we show up and there's only two of us. So it's us and a family of two screaming little kids, a Karen. You'll see why I say that. Okay, I know this is gonna sound bad, but the only way I know how to describe this guy is like the absolute, like, most Zeta male you've ever seen in your life, sitting in the corner quietly. And they're, I believe she said Brazilian or Argentinian, and she said this. She said this because babysitter, au pair, maybe that's the proper term, because I'm pretty sure she was living with them. And I'm just gonna go in order. So I'm there to celebrate my birthday. I'm there to have a date with my boyfriend. I'm really, really, really sorry. I'm not here to entertain anyone else. And I didn't actually catch this, but Peter later on told me that Karen started ranting something about immigrants. And here is an immigrant au pair at their table. Oh wow, do I have sunscreen on my nose? Anyway, an immigrant, we're being served by immigrants, like the chef. Again, I honestly didn't hear this. I might have been at the bathroom, but I do remember that at the halfway, 3/4 point of the meal, she goes to the car with one of the children, and then we never see from her ever again, and that was amazing. Here was the other thing that was going on, was that babysitter was trying desperately, tooth and nail, to start a conversation with us. And I get it. This is your only opportunity away from this horrible, horrible woman who was like just rant. Like, I do remember a couple of the rants, but again, it was my birthday. I didn't care. I wasn't going to let anything ruin it. I was there for me. So I even like kind of turned, again, I know this was rude, but it's not my job to have a conversation with this woman. I wasn't even honestly upset that Peter was, because Peter was the one that kept it going, because he's kind of right next to her. So I get it's a little bit harder to ignore her. She was not getting the hint. So it was annoying. It was annoying. Between the ranting, little sliming, smiling little like man in the corner who like can't control his family, has like a couple words to say every couple minutes. And I know that's like toxic to say, but in Peter's words, we probably left a fatter tip than beta male in the corner. I know, zeta male. So anyway, we leave, things are interesting. It's freezing. It is absolutely freezing. Why am I the idiot that is wearing like an open dress shirt, right? Because I got it right. And I think, did I even have like another layer on top of that? It may have been just that. So I do remember freezing my absolute goddamn ass off. But we went around, took some pictures, because as you know, it's absolutely picturesque and beautiful. Got to take some pictures. And then we Ubered back to the city. Here's the deal. Our driver was cruising when he pulled up. He was on an app. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I didn't think that was the best thing for him to be doing while he was driving us all the way back to San Francisco. And I kind of mentioned it to Peter, and Peter didn't think it was a big deal. I remember the car ride was kind of contentious, because I feel like, okay, this isn't something that I want to really, it's not something you want to talk about while you're driving, but it's also like, come on, dude, you really shouldn't be doing this. You should be focusing on driving us. And then again, Peter didn't think it was any big deal. And in retrospect, that may have been just his way of like, keeping the fire going and keeping me excited, even on my birthday dinner. So I remember we get to our stop and I'm freezing. It's downtown San Francisco, which is already a wind tunnel. Peter could give two absolute fucks. He's chilling, just making his way. The plan was to stop at a dispensary. It's already late. I'd like a couple edibles so that I don't have to sit there and watch you drink without having anything to do my own self. Again, it is my birthday. So Peter, we start walking, and I do remember we had a little bit of an argument because there was some disagreement about the stupidity that the driver was doing. He didn't really care. I kind of cared. I think, again, it was a bit misunderstanding that I don't really care to get into right now. But what I do remember is at one point, Peter pulls, typical Peter, we're getting this argument, and he has to stop right there in the middle of the colding ass, freezing, dark street. And I'm furious. It's my birthday. I'm literally freezing. So then I just remember, like, he has to stop and do it right there. And I honestly, because I don't want to cause a scene, and because it's my birthday and I'm trying desperately not to ruin it, even though he's trying hard to like make sure it's his night, not mine, I'm like, hey, I practically beg him. I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry. Like, I'm cold. Can we please keep going? So he leads us to a bar, and that's where I'm just like, I thought the point was to go to the dispensary. They're literally open like for 15 more minutes. And at that point, we just kind of like hugged, parted ways. I think we were both just kind of done with each other for the night, but the selfishness, I couldn't understand it. Like, really, even on my birthday, like you have to have your way. We can't do what I want to do on my, like, and we were going to end up at the bar. Bars that close at 2 a.m. Dispensaries don't, right? So I just remember going to the dispensary, being absolutely pissed off, getting my edibles, eating them, and going to sleep. That was my birthday. That was my motherfucking birthday. Happy birthday to moi. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because I had an excellent, amazing time in Las Vegas with Mariah Carey. And most importantly, it was me, myself, and I, which was a motherfucking crowd. And I'll get to that a little bit later. But I'll see you in the next video.